Bad
What's
boys,
up, my
bad
friends?
boys.
Today we got to talk about police, the police department, the biggest gang in America, the most treacherous gang in America. Back in the days, police were respectable. I used to respect the lawmen of the day. Say your Wild West lawman who was actually going out fighting bad guys, putting the bad guys behind bars. Nowadays, we don't have lawmen that follow the law. We have a bunch of cowards. A bunch of cowards that hide behind guns and badges. These were the same cowards that were not popular in school, that were picked on in school, that were lame in school. They were corny, they were jealous, they were envious of the beautiful kids, the popular boy, the popular girl. Now they have grown up to hate on the popular people in modern society as an adult, which is even more dangerous because they have guns. And anytime you have a coward with a gun, you can have accidental deaths, which is why we see so many deaths nowadays. Just not too long ago, they were in Congress, and I respect the congressman who was calling out the ATF for what they did. The ATF had ran in this man's house, fucking 10 plus cars deep, with assault rifles and shit, early in the morning, kicking the doors down, waking this man's family up. His wife jumps up. He jumps up. He grabs his pistol to go see what happens. He's thinking burglars. His wife thinking burglars. He's trying to protect his wife. And these were ATF agents. And they shot this man in the head in front of his wife. Murdered him. Left his wife traumatized. Then left his wife in the car, handcuffed. They didn't even let her use the restroom. They didn't let her check on her husband to see if he was okay. These are criminals that should be punished with life in prison. The same prison they send people to, these cowards would never go to. And if they do go, they put them in protective custody like the cowards they are. These agencies have lost touch with humanity. I told y'all that. They think they're better. They have lost their soul. They are no longer part of the human race. They are no longer part of civilization. They are no longer part of society because they stand outside of society. They go in communities that they don't even live in and terrorize the inhabitants. These are terrorists. These police cause fear in the community. Nobody wants them there, but they're patrolling. They don't live there, but they're patrolling. Now figure if we started patrolling in their communities. Ah, you see now. You see the hypocrisy. You see the double standards. You see how they don't follow the law. They think they're above the law. Ever notice this? How the police will lock you up for having a gun, a Glock, but they got the same Glock on their hip. Did you ever think, how can the feds charge you with a federal felony for having a switch on your Glock. But they have the switches on their Glock. You ever ask this question? How come it's a crime for you to own that Glock and that switch when Glock, the company, is making billions of dollars off these instruments of death? Shouldn't they be charged with murder? They're literally making instruments of murder. You hear lots of talk nowadays about the government being weaponized. We see this with the FBI, CIA, the ATF, the DEA, so forth and so on. The police force has been weaponized. They have been taught to treat you as a criminal. Just yesterday, see police pull over a rich man, a rich black man. He was driving a Lamborghini. I guess it's a crime to be black and drive a Lamborghini. It is. It's a felony even. It's a fucking felony. If you don't believe me, if you're black, go buy a Lamborghini. Drive around. Watch how fast you get pulled over. Watch, they're gonna say, they thought you were a drug dealer. I guess you're not allowed to have that Lamborghini, are you? Let's be honest. The police force was started as Ku Klux Klan members and ex-slave catchers. Harsh reality. Very harsh reality. Spook hunters. Why did they call black people spooks? Because they said black people were spooked and scared of the ghostly Ku Klux Klan outfits they wore. This was the basis for the sheriff. This was the basis for the marshal. And we're not making this a race thing because Lord knows I wouldn't be here without white people. And I love white people. And white people are part of my family. But we're not going to lie about these facts. We're not going to lie about these facts. Same as when they created crack cocaine. Then they put it in the community, those inner cities, to destroy those people. And then when those same people sold that crack that they gave them, they locked them up. Ask yourself, where does cocaine come from? Ask yourself, do anybody in the inner cities have planes to bring cocaine into America? Ask yourself, does anybody in the inner city make machine guns? Come on now. We're not going to lie about this shit. We're not going to fucking lie. And we're not downing police officers because there are some good police officers. But the system you work for is evil. It's evil. So you're still doing the bidding and the work of evil. Have you ever seen what happens in court? Playing with people's lives. judges throwing away people of certain demographics and certain races in prison for longer terms than others. This is not just. This is not fair. Only God can judge you. Man cannot. But man wants to play judge, jury, and executioner. And worse than death row, you get executed on the streets. I just saw a female cop not too long ago shooting, bop, 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 because an acorn fell on the car. And she thought she was under attack. Anybody that pathetic does not need to be holding a firearm. We're not even going to get into how the Constitution gives you the right to bear arms, right? Second Amendment, right? Nowhere in there does it say if you're a felon, they take your guns away. If you're a man, you're supposed to be able to hold that gun. But then you have to look into that same Constitution, because that same Constitution says that some people aren't men based on race. A racist Constitution. The police should be ashamed of themselves. They're pathetic. Every time I see them, I see nothing but cowards. People filled with hatred and guns on their hips. God will punish all. God will punish you for your deeds and actions on this earth. You think you got away with smuggling those drugs into the country, Mr. DEA agent? You think you got away with that assassination, Mr. CIA agent? You think you got away with that murder when you shot that boy in that project hallway and then planted a gun on him and said he pulled the gun on you? You piece of shit. You run around the streets of New York tormenting the neighborhoods. You run around the streets of Chicago raping the women. Oh yes. Oh yes. We know about you police that rape the prostitutes and then send them back on the streets because you know they are vulnerable women in vulnerable positions in life and they don't have anyone they could tell. Who are they gonna tell? The police? You are the police. You just raped her. You piece of shit. But guess what? God sees all. And you're gonna get yours. No man is above judgment. If you really are an honest police officer and you're trying to do honest work and you took the oath and you were really upholding the oath that you took, I applaud you. I applaud you. But then, good officer, I want you to look around at your force. I want you to look at the douchebags you work with. The pricks you work with. Pricks. The bitches you work with. These are bitches. These bitches with badges, they are just bitches. They're just so fucking evil and just ready to kill. Ready to kill. Like, bitches wake up with a bad attitude and just want to beat a nigga up. Evil motherfuckers. Look at your co-workers. I really want you to look at your co-workers. I bet you think you can make a change, don't you? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you can't make a change. You can't change shit. It's above your pay grade. It's above your motherfucking pay grade. You just joined the force, and you think you're gonna fucking make something work? You think you can make a difference. I love your optimism. I love your enthusiasm. But I'm sorry. The system is evil. And it's above your jurisdiction. You ever notice? A decent cop hits the scene, he thinks he's about to do something. Then a superior comes. We'll take it from here. Good job, Officer Johnson. We'll take it from here. Good job, Officer Vasquez. We'll take it from here. Even worse when the feds come on the scene. You think you solved the crime, Mr. Detective? you thought you solved the crime, Mr. Detective. Then guess who comes on the scene to steal the shine? Agent Hendricks comes on the scene. Good job, Detective. We'll take it from here. I ain't got shit else to say, man. Y'all know what's going on, man.